Believe it or not, the geeks are back. We're recording some 80s shit today. This is the week we are seeing Ready Player One. Let's hope it doesn't suck.
That almost fit.
Oh, it was so close.
Believe it or not. Shut the fuck
They
up.
probably will. Song over.
The end.
See you next
Welcome
week.
back to another episode of the Hateful Geeks. I am one of your many hosts, Phil.
This is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And this week, we're getting jonesed up for the release of Ready Player One, the love letter to the 80s and all things pop culture and nerdery. Certainly up our alley, if you will. So we thought we would take this week to talk about one of our favorite decades of pop culture, the 80s. One of us actually lived through them. Was actually like a teenager through the 80s.
Not me.
Not me.
Like
Not
Andy
a
was
teenager.
Andy was in his 30s during the 80s.
Close.
I was born.
only like a young spud of like 5 to 8 in that era. I was a young child, but I had a lot of older siblings that were big into the 80s culture, so I got ingratiated in it when I was a very young age.
I was 2 and the oldest, so I'm fucked.
Sweeney, were you even like an itch in your daddy's pants in the 80s?
I turned 4 when the 80s ended.
Yeah, I was 2.
So barely. You're there.
Yeah.
You might have gotten a toy or two.
I did have toys from the 80s, yeah.
12 when it ended.
I graduated elementary school.
Christ, you're old. Anyway. So yes, welcome back to the Hateful Geeks 80s week. And
80s
let's
week.
kick it off with some of the greatest and maybe not so great things that came out of the 80s.
Before we begin, can I razz Andy just a little bit?
Please.
What year did you graduate elementary school?
Elementary?
Who the
Yeah.
fuck graduates from
Yeah, I
elementary
don't
school?
remember any
I'm sorry.
graduation.
Or what year was 8th grade done for you?
8th grade
That's
or
middle
5th?
school.
Middle school. I'm sorry, middle school. I went to a school that
I
was
think
1
I
through 8.
started high school 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 93,
Okay.
92.
Calculator.
Okay, I was about to give you crap because I was like, man, I graduated middle school 2 decades, like a full decade after you.
I can't help when I came out of a vagina. I mean, it just happened.
Well, that's an
Thanks,
image.
Mom.
That's an image.
And on that note, one of the worst things that happened in the 80s, I do believe it was the 80s. Please correct me if I'm wrong. In fact, give me one quick second. I'm just going to be like, derp, 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 derp.
Mr. Gorbachev, take down this wall.
Mr. Gorbachev, take down this wall. Yes, it is an 80s movie, 1989. It counts. Look Who's Talking.
Oh, man.
A film about coming out of vaginas. Good job, Andy.
Well, you can get the image of being conceived in the vagina.
Bruce Willis was the baby, right?
Bruce Willis was the voice of Mikey, and Look Who's Talking.
John
yes.
Travolta.
And Kirstie Alley.
Ooh.
Oh my God, what an unlikable person. Like
John Travolta or Kirstie Alley or both?
yes. Correct.
Have some.
But you know what's really funny is though I rewatched that movie recently, and it actually holds up.
Like I don't remember a whole lot of Look Who's Talking, but I remember just like, well, how can we make the sequel worse? Have a daughter voiced by Roseanne.
We're not talking about Look Who's Talking 2. Look Who's Talking, and that's
No, I know.
TOO.
No, I
Look Who's
know.
Talking 2
Yeah,
was
yeah.
outside of the 80s.
Yeah.
So keep it 80s and keep it cool.
Speaking of Roseanne, they just brought Roseanne's show back.
Tonight.
And I have it on my DVR. Fuck all you. I genuinely like Roseanne.
Didn't that start in the 80s?
It started in '88.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Relevant.
She's a
was like,
fucking
how-
hardcore conservative in it. I don't want anything to do with it.
But how are they? I was wondering, how are you bringing it back when season 9 they win the lottery and Dan dies? But now Dan's
all
back.
dreams.
And then I found out,
the 9th season never existed.
yeah, they're
Or
just
doesn't
going with
exist.
season 9. Didn't happen.
I saw a clip of it, and there's a scene where they're in the garage. He's like, "Oh, look at this book you wrote." I mean, it could have been successful, but you killed the most likable character right in the beginning. That gentle giant.
So the 80s.
So the 80s. Let's talk movies. One of the most memorable movies I can think of the 80s, Top Gun.
Yes.
Playing with the boys.
Yeah,
was
let's talk about
Apparently,
like
Tim likes to play with the boys.
mildly
Dearly.
subtle homoerotic volleyball fights between best pals.
And then every time that Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis are in the same room together, just dun 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 in the background.
And Val Kilmer's skinny.
Oh my god!
Oh man! Oh, Val Kilmer's not fat anymore. Yeah,
He is a fatty pants now.
well, yeah.
You can be my
still
wingman
awesome.
anytime. Bullshit. You can be on Top Gun and Risky Business. Like Tom Cruise, like owned a large percentage of the '80s. That's when he became a Scientologist.
I'd have to look, but Rain Man I think came out in the '80s too.
It certainly
Great
did.
movie.
Definitely came out in the '80s.
Definitely
Definitely in the 80s.
Tell him, Raymond.
Definitely in the '80s. Look it up. Worth a Google. Worth a Google.
I'm looking. I'm IMDbing it right now.
Holy shit, though. I mean, like one of the worst Tom Cruise movie in the '80s. Legend.
I've never seen Legend.
You've never seen
No,
Legend?
I've never seen Legend.
It is not
Okay.
good.
It is a guilty pleasure of mine, but I'm capable of admitting that it is a subpar sci-fi fantasy film.
Tim Curry as the devil is amazing.
He is not the devil. He
Not
is
the devil,
son
but
of
he
darkness,
looks-
Lord of Darkness. Yes, I understand what
he's
he
a
looks
demon.
like, but
So not
he
all
has a
demons are the
character
devil.
names.
Right.
Yes, but Tim Curry is the best part about
Rain Man.
that movie. I like to think that the Tangerine Dream soundtrack is the best part about that movie, though.
Tim Curry's best role in the 80s? The Muppet movies. Which one was that? The
Some
one
of those
where
were
he
in the
was...
90s, bro.
Muppet Treasure Island was in the '90s. Goddamn
Yeah,
it.
man.
You're
Muppets,
So fucking
Muppets
old.
Take
You
Manhattan.
can't even get your
I-
decades straight.
I will say another good Tom Cruise '80s movie. All the Right Moves and The Color of Money.
All the Right Moves is the high school football one, and Color of Money is with Paul Newman. It's like the unofficial sequel to The Hustler.
Yeah. I think now they've kind of said it's official because he plays
Oh,
the same
no
character
shit.
pretty much. Yeah.
Top
Cool
Gun,
beans.
Risky Business. It's the rest of it.
of course, because you haven't seen it.
Yeah. God damn it.
All
Cocktail.
right.
You've never seen Cocktail?
I've seen Cocktail.
Oh,
You seen Cocktail?
Cocktail. Hello, Cocktail.
I like Cocktail. Fuck you guys. Like,
No.
So-
I like Cocktail.
So I have a theory. Like Tom Cruise is a deplorable human being, right?
Correct.
Like, you'd never want to hang out with Tom Cruise in real life, like go to a
God, no.
bar
God,
or
no.
go to a Scientologist meeting with him. You'd never want to do that. But his movies his agent is on fucking point. You have to give him that. His agent knows his shit. He can pick a good script. Even Oblivion was good, not an 80s movie.
Dodgeball.
I like that Edge of Tomorrow. I enjoyed Edge of Tomorrow a lot.
That was good.
His
Not 80s.
cameo in Tropic Thunder. Diet Coke.
God, yeah, because he needed that after he needed an Image like reboot after that or before that.
I'm just saying, like, say I would never ever like chill with this dude in public, but I can't fault the guy for having some pretty great films. Even Top Gun is an amazing movie. You can't hate on it.
You can still watch
Soundtrack
Top
is one of the
Gun
best
now.
things.
It holds up.
All right, let's just go around the table. Like, what's the thing that like scarred you for life? Like, such a shitty thing about the 80s movies that you just like cannot let go. Even if like at the time you might have liked it, you might have grown to like kind of not like it now.
I can't think of anything for the 80s.
The hateful geeks can't hate on anything from the 80s. You're all gonna retire early.
Mine's not movies. It was the fashion
Oh,
and
yeah.
most of the pop culture music.
So give me
a
an
lot of
example of
the
some
80s music
fashion
is
things you didn't
good.
like.
All the neon colors, just straight up. Everything had to be
The
neon.
ankle warmers.
Yeah,
Jean jackets.
jean jacket. Everything was
I
denim.
like jean jackets.
Everything.
Yeah, you did.
Jorts.
Jorts. That
I can't-
jorts.
George John
can't.
Cena still won't let him die.
Nope.
Was the original Halloween in the 80s?
No, that's the
Yeah.
70s.
70s?
What? No.
Damn. It's a long time
I'm
ago.
almost. Let me look. I think it was 77.
I was gonna say
What about Nightmare
Poltergeist
on Elm
scarred me,
Street?
but for being an actually good horror movie in the 80s.
Halloween.
admit-
Halloween was 78.
Okay. Not that one. Okay. I didn't see it until the 80s.
Did
so
the
it was-
Nightmare on Elm Streets were in the 80s? Like, 'cause
Yes.
that was like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like Johnny Depp, like coming on the scene, like,
Yeah,
and then
Nightmare on
Richard
Elm Street-
Rico and
Nightmare
21
on Elm
Jump
Street was
Street.
in
How ridiculous were those movies?
Man, like I like the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and then after
They just
that,
kept
it's
making them.
Boy, Friday the 13th is in. I'm been pretty positive is in the 80s too.
80s had a pretty solid horror decade,
They had
man.
no-
You had
They had the
Right.
pretty solid horror original movies, and then
Yeah.
all the sequels were like, "What are they doing?"
Friday the 13th was 1980.
So before we started recording, I said in the 80s in movies, you could name 4 directors that pretty much ruled the 80s. That was Spielberg,
yeah.
E.T..
Lucas,
Yup.
Cameron,
What did Cameron
I'm
make?
kind of on Cameron in the 80s.
I think he definitely had a place at court. I wouldn't say he ruled.
Not ruled it, but
because he only,
but the king.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he only
above
had
Spielberg, above Lucas is John Hughes.
Oh, for sure. In the 80s?
John Hughes defined the
He
80s.
was
Right.
the 80s.
Cameron,
Weird science.
Is there a John Hughes movie you did not like?
Yes.
Which one?
St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh.
I can't stand it.
I never watched it because I didn't really have interest.
So St. Elmo's Fire is sort of like the unofficial sequel to The Breakfast Club. It's instead of all of them being in high school, it's like they're coming out of grad school.
Yeah.
They're all like getting jobs and
it's
shit.
them like coming into the world and stuff like that.
20-somethings, like early 30-somethings, like it's so fucking depressing. It's like you got out of school, now you got to get a job. Relationships are hard. Pay your bills. Don't do drugs. Like fuck St. Elmo's
drugs.
Fire and a
It
half.
helps.
I can't stand it.
I will say one John Hughes movie that I did not like. She's Having a Baby.
Fuck you. Fuck you. She's Having a Baby is actually one of the most amazing unsung John Hughes films. I like this movie. One, it's got a great soundtrack.
Okay.
Two, it's a fucking it's a Kevin Bacon movie, man. I can't think of one bad Kevin Bacon movie.
Did he do Footloose?
He did.
No, Hughes didn't. Bacon did.
Yeah, but who did directed Footloose?
I couldn't tell you
nobody
that.
important.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was something big.
I mean, it's one that maybe I'll need to ever see again. But the other one that pops in my head, it was not the 80s because I think it came out like 91 or 92.
Close enough.
Dutch.
That is a John Hughes film.
I
90s.
was not a big Dutch fan.
If you like a good road trip movie with foul humor and Al Bundy, Dutch is for you.
I like Ed O'Neill. Yeah.
What's your favorite Hughes movie?
That's easy for me.
I would say either Home Alone or Breakfast Club.
Ugh, really? Fucking Home Alone?
Dude, Home
movie,
Alone.
dude.
Home Alone was a big movie in my
Ferris
childhood.
Bueller's Day Off. I think that's
Ferris
the only.
Bueller's
That's the only
third.
appropriate answer.
I'm going to sound like a cliche fuck, but I love Breakfast Club, and I always
Oh,
will
yeah,
love
it's a great
Breakfast
movie.
Club.
Yeah, like
Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller.
I mean, like five.
Weird
I mean,
Science.
can I go 5 on John Hughes movies?
Weird Science is great. I'm
no.
not a big fan of Pretty in Pink.
Because you're not pretty.
I like 16
Or
Candles,
Pink.
but Pretty in Pink, I mean, I get it. It just, I don't know. It
Pretty
didn't
in Pink's the one
feel.
with John Cryer, right?
Yeah.
Ducky.
And
Yeah.
Ducky.
Yeah.
And
I just-
the terrible racist Asian stereotype.
I just
Long
remember.
Duck Dong.
Long Duck Dong.
Yeah.
I just remember
Holy
Gremlins.
racism, John Hughes.
I don't think that was John Hughes.
No, but I just remember Gremlins in the 80s.
Gremlins is great.
I mean, I like Uncle Buck.
Oh, yeah.
That's a John Hughes movie?
Uncle
Yeah.
Buck is a John Hughes movie.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Uncle Buck would be my top 3.
Fuck yeah.
I love that
Gets
shit.
out the bug
John
spray
Hughes
for
made a
bug.
shit ton of fucking movies,
What
didn't
about
he?
Bob?
No. If we go in the 90s, Curly Sue.
Holy shit, he did do Curly Sue. Did
didn't-
John Hughes?
Yeah.
Like, he probably...
I didn't know he did Career Opportunities.
I think John Hughes has probably made more films than any other director/producer.
He did Beethoven.
he did Beethoven.
He did do fucking Beethoven. Holy
He did
shit.
The Miracle on 34th Street, the
remake?
remake in the 90s. Yeah.
That's not a bad movie.
He did the 101 Dalmatians, the live action one.
All right,
Boo.
fuck off.
He did the remake of Flubber with Robin Williams.
All right, at some point, you're just collecting a check, John Hughes. Jesus Christ.
Stick to the originals.
Yeah, man. Like, stay in the 80s. Keep it 80s. Keep it classy.
Well, he also
I'm
did,
just
he also
looking
did
at-
every Beethoven possible.
He did not do Beethoven 2, 3, and 4. And Beethoven's treasure chest, the shit puppies at sea.
They gave
That one.
him a character's credit for everything past Beethoven 1.
Okay, so he didn't like produce or direct, but he
They
owned the
gave him a
characters.
character's credit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
He
doesn't
came up with the
count.
dog.
That's not the same.
I'm trying to think what else.
Dog.
He did.
He came up with the dog.
He wrote the vacation movies.
Mm.
I completely forget about that.
He wrote like National Lampoon's Vacation,
Yes.
European Vacation,
He
Vegas
wrote-
Vacation.
Where
He did
is
not-
John
he
Hughes?
didn't do he passed
He's on a
away like 10
pile
years
of
ago.
fucking money and blow.
Yeah, he did Vacation, European Vacation, and Christmas Vacation.
Wow.
Oh, Lord. Christmas Vacation is a fucking 80s classic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is the go-to 80s movie for any dork.
So I'd say John Hughes is the king of the 80s.
That's what I was
for
gonna say.
film.
No.
Can I
He's
go
the
with
god
5?
of
Can
the
I-
80s. He's above
God,
king.
Yeah.
He's like God Emperor Spice Lord of
You got
fucking 80s.
Spielberg and then Hughes's.
I mean, yeah. The only one I'm kind of like on your list is Cameron because The only movies in the 80s that he did were Terminator and
Alien.
Aliens.
And Aliens.
Yeah. He didn't do Alien.
Alien. No, you're right. He didn't do. Ridley Scott did Alien.
Ridley
Cameron
Scott
did Aliens.
Yeah, Ridley Scott did Alien
and Terminator.
He did Aliens, and then what's his name? Did Aliens 3? The guy who did David Fincher did Aliens 3.
Yo, dude, I still think Aliens is the superior of the original Alien films.
The xenomorphs freak me out.
I mean, like Terminator was a big staple of the 80s, though. I mean,
right.
But
Terminator 2 is bigger. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's more well known.
Your
I would
boots,
think.
Your motorcycle.
Yeah.
You don't have to see naked Arnold that much.
Oh man, Arnold butt. Yeah.
One last John Hughes thing before we move on: planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, he did so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. That guy literally was
did he clone himself?
Fun trivia. John Hughes fact: he wrote the script for Weird Science in one weekend on a beer bender.
Did not know that, but yeah, I can see that.
He's like, man, I wish I could cook me up a woman right now.
Movie.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
That's like Andy just cracked the Da Vinci Code. He's like, God damn, if only I could grow a bitch. sorry. I'm sorry, ladies out there. A lady. If only I could grow a woman.
Planes, trains, and automobiles is like one I watch like every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's a classic. Turner classic movie.
Might be it's my favorite John Candy movie. It comes very close to being my favorite Steve Martin movie.
See, Andy, you put Cameron in your little royal 80s court of badass directors. I think Ridley Scott did better than him, dude. Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Ooh. Fucking Blade Runner, man. Blade Runner basically set the tone for all
I've never even finished Blade Runner.
What? You've never... Get out! What? Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! How have you never...
It is not boring.
Oh my God, you Blade Runner.
It is not boring.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Now, granted, I was very young when
you haven't tried again?
No.
We just lost so much fucking geek cred on you because you.
I'm gonna go back to my
man in the penis.
I'm gonna go back to my insult from a few weeks ago and be like, I'm about to show you my dick.
You're about to see 10
and
dick.
I'm the gay one.
But you're the one who's gonna start sucking. So first of all, it's based on a Philip K. Dick short novel. What do electric sheep dream? Do androids dream of electric sheep? Electric sheep. Thank you. It's a convoluted title, but it's a great one. It basically invented the modern sci-fi genre. It's a dystopic future. For the year that it was made, it's beautifully done. Rutger Hauer is one of the best villains ever, and then he went and did Lady Hawk.
But no, Rutger Hauer in that is amazing. Like near the end of the movie, he has like a monologue that's fucking great and did it in one take.
Harrison Ford, dude. Harrison Ford as Deckard is holy shit. How have you never finished Blade Runner?
Did you see the sequel?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I haven't seen 2049 yet.
No.
I forgot who I'm talking to. I'm sorry.
He
came along and told you what a great movie this was.
Like,
hey, guess what I'm going to throw at you next Tuesday when we record?
Is it Blade Runner?
Yeah, it's going to be my DVD copy of Blade Runner.
Make sure you throw it at his genitals.
I have it on Vudu.
Yeah, we do have it on our Vudu account, and it's fucking good.
You should watch it.
Okay.
Watch the final director's cut, though.
I think
do not watch the theatrical. Andy, do not watch the theatrical cut.
Why?
Do
because
you
that's what I
understand?
tried watching the first time?
I don't know what you
I
watched.
don't know what you tried.
That's what it would have been because it would have been.
I don't know what you tried watching 31 years ago.
If it has a Harrison Ford monologue, it is the theatrical cut. Do not watch that shit. Just watch the final director's cut. It is amazeballs.
And because we were talking about Tom Cruise, he's not in Blade Runner, but Ridley Scott did Legend right after Blade Runner.
He did. And you can kind of see like the film nuances between Legend and Blade Runner, like from like an aesthetics point. I get where he was going. It's sort of like pseudo-realistic with like a high fantasy feel to it. But you put Tom Cruise in a fucking shiny skirt, bro. Nobody wants to see that side. Nobody wants to see that fantasy film.
Right.
Nobody.
Even mid-20s Tom Cruise.
All 5 foot of them.
Oh, yeah. And then you have like all the kids running around that are like supposed to be like sprites and fairies, and it's just Tom Cruise kind of hanging out with them, and you're like, whoa, L. Ron Hubbard, whoa. Let's pull this back a bit. Yeah. Also from the 80s, Blossom, probably.
I'm pretty sure that was 90s.
Yeah, I think that was 90s. Like that
can't be right about all of them.
Oh,
well,
man.
I kind of mentioned the Muppets. So with
wasn't it the 90s?
You got to go Muppets Take Manhattan.
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Okay.
The old school Muppets. But with
the Muppet movie.
That kind of popped in my head. Other films that used puppetry or animatronics. Labyrinth.
Yep.
Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Get out of my brain.
The Never-Ending Story. Which did not age well.
No, it did not.
You pray it ends while you're watching it.
Never-Ending Story is fucking unwatchable.
It is 90 minutes long and feels like an eternity.
It does. It is really the never-ending story.
That's why they called it that.
It's the longest hour and a half ever.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Cool. So this is something we can totally take a gigantic steaming turd on. When was the last time, other than me and Andy, when was the last time, like Tim, Sweeney, when did you guys last seen Never-Ending Story?
Oh, it's probably been since high school.
Yeah.
Do you remember the plot, though?
Yeah.
Like, is it like fresh in your mind if you need to recall it?
For me, it's like 8, 9, or 10. Like, I don't remember it.
I remember it.
I remember the giant flying, whatever the fuck. But
the dragon-ish dog.
Yeah, so you understand the premise of the film. It's a little boy reading a book.
Yeah.
And he gets stuck at school because his mom died in the beginning of the movie, but they totally gloss over that shit. And then he finds out he's in the book.
Yeah. Right.
Wow, what a twist.
What a twist.
And then at the end of the fucking movie, he somehow rides the fucking dragon Falcor down like that road in San Francisco, and he chases his bullies into a dumpster. Because he gets told he can make wishes and shit. Like, first of all, look, kid, you fucked up. You were given the ability to grant wishes, and you used a dragon to chase some dickheads down a street.
This is a thing that happens?
Yes.
This is a thing that fucking happens. If I was granted wishes, I'd maybe wish my dead mom back from the grave.
It's kind of like Dragon Balls. You find the Dragon Balls, you make a wish.
Yes.
It's the little snake thing on the cover of the book. Anyway, it's called the Orin. I don't want to go into this. I know too much about the Never-Ending Story. The point is that this kid uses a really amazing ability that he's been granted through a fantasy novel and just fucking wastes it. Just wastes it. What a shit. And then the kid from like, what's that fucking movie about the submarine and the talking dolphin? Darwin. What was that television show? Sequest.
Oh.
The douchebag from Sequest plays him in the sequel, and it's even stupider.
There is the sad moment where his horse gets stuck in the mud.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing, man. It's a movie for kids, and you murder a horse in mud.
It's really sad.
I mean, there
made me cry.
There were some kid movies in the 80s that were just not
free PG-13.
Yeah. Return to Oz.
Whoa, with Fairuza Balk?
Fuck that movie.
That movie's great, dude.
The Wheelers fucked with me as a kid.
Right? It was creepy as shit.
Oh my God. And
the fucking Gnome King?
Yeah, and also like the character with a pumpkin for a head, is it just Pumpkinhead?
Yeah. He's just called Pumpkinhead.
She's fucking
Jack.
Christ.
I think she called him Jack.
Like, that freaked me out as a kid.
There's a scary movie called Pumpkinhead, so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I remember the trailer for that, like the build-up, like, it is so scary, no one will dare say his name. Pumpkinhead. And I was like, the fuck?
You just said it, apparently.
Not scary at all.
Fucking what the hell was it? The movie Return to Oz opens with Dorothy in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes. Like she flat out in an insane asylum.
Nobody believes her shit.
Yeah.
I mean, would you? I mean, if your daughter like woke up with a concussion after a tornado and started rambling about like
you were there and you were there.
An army of midgets and like
flying monkeys,
flying monkeys and witches that melt from water, you'd be like, bitch, crazy.
Right.
I poured water on her and she melted. That doesn't happen.
What are you talking about?
Was it holy water?
Dorothy's gone nuts again.
Isn't Dark Crystal getting a sequel?
It's got a comic book sequel.
I was like, it shouldn't.
That's been in production hell for a long time, and rumors have been flying around, but nothing's ever been like solidified.
Oh, was Karate Kid in the 80s?
Karate Kid
Are you smoking crack?
Yes.
The Karate Kid was in the 80s.
Crack.
I thought they're doing the not
Cobra
sequel,
Kai.
but it's like a
Cobra Kai
back in the valley.
Karate Kid to me was like my Bible growing up because I'm an Italian-American kid, and watching a movie about like an Italian-American kid who like gets pulled out of Jersey, taken to the West Coast, and just like he starts getting bullied. So he learns real karate to beat up a bunch of like yuppie assholes. Great fucking movie.
It was good.
The problem is, if you actually watch The Karate Kid, Daniel's the villain.
Yeah. Sort of.
Are you guys quiet because you agree?
No,
or you're like...
No, it's funny because I was thinking like, I remember, oddly enough, I remember Karate Kid Part 2 more than I remember Karate Kid 1.
I think 2 is a superior film because it takes place in Japan and like the actual source of karate.
1 I haven't seen forever. I remember Wax On, Wax Off, Mr. Miyagi, the catching the fly with the chopsticks.
That's the second one.
And then doing the crane kick at the end and like kicking the kid in the face.
I mean, also,
with his super ultra move.
I mean, also, sorry,
your ultra move.
It's like up, down, down.
It took me a second.
That's
Karate Kid Part 2 has the love song by Peter Cetera. That is amazing.
Like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago.
I am the man who will fight for your honor. Yes. I know all of the words.
You guys sing it in Pete Cetera range.
I can't get that high. Goddamn.
I am the hero you've been dreaming of.
Yeah, like I can't get as high as Peter Cetera because that man's voice is gold.
It is. It is.
Audible chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexual chocolate.
Audible chocolate.
Oh,
God damn it.
Fucking Coming to America. Sexy chocolate. That is an 80s film, right?
Yes.
It has to be.
Coming to America 89? Was like 80. You know what? Fuck it.
If it's 89,
if it was Eddie Murphy, it had to be in the 80s.
Trading Places.
Trading Places.
I love
1988, Coming to America.
The royal penis is clean.
Penis is clean, Your Highness.
Such a weird movie.
Oh, it is a great movie. Man, you ain't never met no Muhammad Ali.
If it's Mama Calm Clay, I'm
Mama Calm Clay.
What is that, velvet?
What is this, velvet?
I do love.
I believe the children are the future.
God, we've just got on like a complete one-line tangent straight through the 80s.
That's the greatest part of the 80s. You can explain everything in just taglines. Like, it was just a marketing explosion.
Andy's nailed it on the head. The greatest thing about the 80s is all the best one-liners from all films come from the 80s.
Even our childhood, every single cartoon, action figure, everything that was designed was just the biggest catchphrase. Like Thundercat, we were doing it in the beginning. Thundercats, ho.
Ho. It's the only 30-minute television show where you can get away with saying the word ho 5 times.
I have the power.
You do?
He-Man.
Yeah, if you're He-Man, you do.
Gojo, knowing is half the battle. It was just, hey kids, here's some
Gojo.
Gojo.
G.I. Joe.
Yojo.
Gojo.
I don't remember Gojo. I remember Yojo.
Yojo. What's Gojo?
Yeah, I remember knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Oh my God.
Now,
dude, I remember some obscure fucking cartoons in the 80s. Who here remembers Silverhawks?
Oh, I had Silverhawk figures.
Yeah, I remember Silverhawks.
It was sort of like America's attempt to like steal, what's that Japanese animation with the planet, War of the Planets?
Some
shit like that. What?
Battle of the Planets?
Sure, Battle of the Planets, sure. All the heroes are like bird-based space
that's Battle
superheroes.
Planets.
You got fucking Jason the Wheeled Warriors, which had one of the best opening theme songs for an 80s cartoon. It's like a fucking like guitar riff. It's pretty epic. It was metal. It was super metal.
Like I'm trying to remember 80s cartoons that
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, I think was the 80s.
That was like maybe late 80s, but probably early 90s for Captain Planet. Mask.
I see. Yeah, I don't remember Mask.
Crusaders working overtime, fighting crime.
Chippendale.
Sorry.
Transformers.
Chippendale.
Rescue Rangers. 90s?
I thought it was 80s.
The Fox Afternoon with Tailspin, Gummy Bears.
Well, that Tailspin came out.
Chippendales.
Chippendale.
Darkwing Duck.
Chip dressed like Indiana Jones. Dale dressed like Magnum P.I.
Yeah.
Both 80s staples.
Yeah. That's why I thought they were in the 80s.
80s TV, man.
Fucking loved it, man.
Remember V?
Just V, like the sci-fi miniseries.
Yes, with the lizard, they would peel the skin away to show they were lizards.
Remember when they tried to remake it and it was shitty?
With
Miranda Baccarin.
Yes, I can't say her name.
While we were talking about 80s cartoons, Chippendale Rescue Rangers was the 80s. 88.
Nice. DuckTales. Woo!
Was that?
I don't give a fuck what anyone says. DuckTales, Treasure of the Lost Lamp is one of my favorite Disney animated films.
Gummy Bears?
Bouncing here and there and
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
High adventure that's beyond compare. They're the Gummy Bears.
Care Bear stare.
Care Bears?
Oh,
that was huge.
I think that the reason when our generation grew up with Care Bears, we decided that we weren't going to be apathetic assholes like our parents, like baby boomers.
You know what? Here's feelings right in your face.
One cartoon that I absolutely loved that was the 80s. I just had to look. Muppet Babies.
Oh my God.
Muppet Babies, we make your dreams come true.
Yeah.
Go Andy.
We can just sing the theme song.
We're going to sing them and you're going to sing them too, Sweeney.
Fun fact, they have Disney has a new animated Muppet Babies cartoon now, according to IMDb, and Jenny Slate is the nanny.
That's cool, but at the same time, stop fucking remaking everything from the 80s.
People run out of ideas.
Stop.
We talked about this before. People they're like, we don't have no more new ideas.
RoboCop original, awesome.
Ooh.
RoboCop remake, not awesome.
RoboCop cartoon.
Yeah.
There's a RoboCop
legendary.
cartoon. There's a Swamp
Freeze
Thing.
dirtbag.
There's a Swamp Thing cartoon, and the lyric I distinctly remember the theme. It's to the beat of Wild Thing. It's Swamp Thing. You are amazing. You fight everything nasty.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp.
Bow down. Bow
You are amazing.
Wow.
Because I had the RoboCop cartoon and I had the Swamp Thing.
If we're gonna
cartoon on VHS.
If we're gonna stick to cartoons, wasn't Scooby-Doo? I mean,
There was an
Scooby-Doo
iteration.
started
started in the 70s.
Okay.
No, actually, I think Scooby-Doo technically started in the 60s, but I'm sure there had to be an 80s iteration of it.
I'm sure there
13 Ghosts of
There's been an
Scooby-Doo.
iteration of Scooby-Doo through every decade since it
It's
incepted.
still going.
I want real quick because we were kind of talking briefly about comic book cartoons. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh my God, is that the one with the Human Torch?
That's with Firestar and Iceman.
Firestar.
How about oh shit, what was the title of it? But the one with Hulk Hogan, the animated wrestling.
Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes.
Mr. T.
Oh,
Mr. T was the 80s. Oh my A-Team.
there was a bit of where they tried to make Saturday cartoons out of like your basic sitcoms. So in the early 80s, there was a Mork and Mindy cartoon. There was a Laverne and Shirley cartoon. There was also a Happy Days cartoon where they go in a spaceship and just go on different planets because that's fucking Happy Days.
Fucking Alf.
Yeah, I was going to say Alf had a cartoon.
I loved Alf as a kid, though.
What was he though? Like
He was just an
He was
alien.
the
and
Melmac.
He ate the neighborhood cat.
Yeah,
like nobody cared.
Yeah, like have you seen how like dark the show ends because it wasn't renewed? Or like the cliffhanger was that the federal government finds Alf and like it's dark and he's being surrounded by feds with guns and it was never renewed and that's how Alf ends.
And that is how
Alf is at
Alf
Area
gets
51
probed.
on a fucking dissection
No, like
table.
legit Alf ended. Like
Yeah, and that that was the cliffhanger and it was never renewed and that is how Alf ends.
I mean, when they dissect him, they're just going to find a whole lot of cat inners and
Right.
shit
Right.
in his belly.
Right.
nobody really cared that he ate the cats either. They were just like, well, he eats cats. Whatever.
You can tell the
That's
person
Alf.
who wrote Alf was a dog person.
What
you can
was
tell.
the what was that? The Bigfoot one. Henderson's.
Was Harry
Oh,
in that?
Harry and the
Hendersons.
Hendersons.
Just Bigfoot living with him.
That was with John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yes.
As not a villain for once.
For
Right.
once.
There's always one line I remember from that when they're out cleaning the pool after they bathed Harry in the neighbor's pool. And it was like, it's like a condor flew over and took a shit in this.
Yeah, Harry and the Hendersons was
Wow.
87. For some reason I thought it was in the 90s.
Was Total Recall 80s?
Total Recall is
Yes,
the
Yes.
sir. All of the best Schwarzenegger action films are 80s based.
Predator.
Actually,
We're talking
I'll take
Predator.
that back. Total Recall came out in 90.
Oh.
No. It was written in the 80s.
It was
It was
greenlit.
released in 1990.
I mean, like, if we want to like talk about like go back to movies real quick, like, I mean, action movies.
I think
too.
we're
Like,
all
you
over
had,
the place.
You had Schwarzenegger, you had Stallone, you had Willis.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chuck Norris did some action movies in the 80s.
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
Yeah. I mean, even like in the 80s, like with Schwarzenegger, you had Predator, you had we'll count Total Recall because I mean, even though it came out in '90, it feels like an '80s movie.
They filmed it in the '80s.
It was an '80s movie for sure.
They filmed it in the '80s. I'm drawing a blank on one. I got
Running Man.
Running Man, Tim.
No, Conan the Barbarian.
Conan.
But
obviously, Conan the Barbarian to this day is my favorite high fantasy film.
Huh.
No, but what I was
Robert
thinking
E. Howard was a kind of a misogynist, but he wrote a good fucking fantasy novel.
But the one that he did that I was thinking of that I couldn't think of was Commando.
Yes, Commando. You have all the Stallone movies like Rambo and all
Rambo and the shit Rocky sequels.
Yeah.
Hey. Whoa, okay.
5 was good.
What do you consider a shit Rocky sequel, Tim?
4 and 5.
Oh, I love 4.
5 was good.
Isn't 4 the one where he fights?
That's 3.
That's 3.
I thought that was
3 is Mr. T. 3 is where he fights Clubber Lang.
Yeah, 3 is T.
So is it
4 is the Russian.
5 is the shitty Rocky film.
Hold on.
That's the one where he fights the white kid in the streets because he lost all his money for tax evasion.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paulie.
I love the reference to all of his sequels in Spaceballs where they're like
Clubber Lang
Rocky
3.
5.
I said Clubber Lang is 3. Okay. Open your ears.
Whoa.
Strike this man.
Someone's angry.
Okay, then I take it back. 5.
5 is a shitty Rocky film. Yes.
The Spaceballs reference I just had, that opens it up. Mel Brooks movies.
Oh, in the 80s?
Fuck. Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs.
Blazing Saddles.
History of the World.
Blazing Saddles was like 70s.
Close enough.
Sure. 1974. Close enough.
Close enough.
Spaceballs is definitely
before you were born.
Oh, yeah. But like, I mean, if it comes to Mel Brooks, like, I'm pretty sure History of the World was in the 80s. Spaceballs was definitely in the 80s.
When was Young Frankenstein?
70s.
Yeah, that was
like 77 or 78.
They all run together.
Yeah, he's not looking good these days, guys. Mel Brooks.
Well, I mean, he's also like
90.
He's also 92.
Him and Stan Lee are having a race to the grave.
Oh.
Damn. History of the World Part 1 is 1981.
I love both of them.
Fuck you.
I love both of them. I don't want them to
cry
go.
when both of them die, you fuck.
A tear for each
Maybe
one.
they'll go out like Titanic, they'll hold hands.
Yes.
You guys all have boners for Jeff Goldblum. The Fly was in the 80s.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a good one.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. Yeah, David Cronenberg. Oh.
David Cronenberg. David Cronenberg made some gross ass shit.
We were singing the theme earlier too, but Mannequin. That is one of my biggest guilty pleasures from the 80s.
I was going to run on that Jeff Goldblum train real quick and say Earth Girls Are Easy.
I love that. Oh my God, you're like totally black. That movie is amazing. You got Jeff Goldblum, Damon Wayans, and Jim Carrey as aliens trying to like get laid on Earth.
Weren't they like furry, colorful,
they were
like
furry.
green and blue?
And they go through like, so Gina Davis's friend is like a hairdresser and she gives them all makeovers, basically just shaves them. And they end up looking perfectly human afterwards. I don't understand this movie either. And then like Damon Wayans comes out and Damon Wayans in the girl's voice says, "Oh my God, you're like totally black." Yeah.
So wait, so do you think, this is a question, do you think these movies were as good back then or are they better now that we watch them?
I think Earth Girls Are Easy bombed at the box office. The only reason I remember it is because Comedy Central would play it a lot.
I'm just curious. It's like
repeats.
There's a
it's
lot
like
of
us going
movies.
back watching it, and at the time everyone's like, "All these movies fucking
Sweeney
suck."
raises a good point. Like we're talking about, like, are these movies cult classics or were they actually good in their time?
Right.
Like some of them did not age well. They don't.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that I don't go back and watch because Never Ending Story. I remember as a kid, like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then I watched it, I was like, that sucked. So there's a lot of stuff I don't go back and rewatch. But I will watch Empire Strikes Back on loop until the day I die.
What the fuck, dude? Like, that's like...
Hey,
you can't pull like the number one movie.
No, that was Jedi. 1980 was Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, man, no, you can't bring the Holy Trilogy into an argument like this. That's just not that's like fighting a fucking gunfight with a nuclear bomb.
Right.
It's not
I
right.
mean, yeah, that's like me saying I'm going to be bared with my Indiana Jones trilogy, which I will be.
No shit.
Which I will be. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can't bring those up.
When you lower me into my grave, I better be hearing dun 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 dun.
They're like,
no, but what I'm saying is like
Tim, when you're dead, I'm taking all of your shit.
Those up because like that's like
fair.
Like you said, those are like
your
the top
Spider-Man
tier. You know what I mean? So obviously at the time they were amazing. They were they were box office busters. Like they just like blew up.
Yeah, I think what we're saying is like are they cult classics?
Right.
But like you can't really say Empire and Return because they were the #1 highest grossing movies of those years. That's all we're saying.
They were good,
but like all these
because they are good.
Yeah. Like I'll give you that's we're saying like Earth Girls Are Easy, for example. Like I think is meh.
It was probably crap back then.
It probably was crap back then, but it's a cult classic and looked at hilariously now.
I mean, I'm sure even some of the Schwarzenegger movies back then were kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Actually, Sweeney, every Schwarzenegger action film was a fucking blockbuster.
Really?
In the 80s.
Yeah, like from a money standpoint, that guy made bank.
Like even in the 90s too. Like I think his first technical like box office bomb was probably Batman and Robin. And that was in 97. That I can think of.
And I would
because
assume
remember
the John
True
Hughes
Lies.
movies are all really good back then as well.
What's that?
All the John Hughes movies, I'm sure were really good back then as well. Because he kept making them.
Yeah.
Money makers, though, maybe critically acclaimed.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't
yeah.
say that they were like
because
they weren't like blockbusters.
I think Uncle Buck is like looked at fondly, but I don't think it made a whole lot of money when it came out.
How long are we into this episode?
Ballpark?
I don't know.
Like 40 minutes ballpark?
And we have just now, I'm going to utter the words, The Goonies.
We were going to build up to that. I didn't want to blow my load that quickly.
I like how you just like stopped everything. You're like,
Because I was looking up cult classics and it's like Goonies. And I was like, holy fuck.
well, yeah. That's another one of
I
those.
mean,
Man, I don't know if that's
Okay, thanks. Okay, well, that elephant's in the room. Goonies.
Well, let me start our Goonies conversation with my definition of cult classic is a movie that not a whole lot of people know about. I don't define The Goonies as a cult classic.
I know a lot of people that actually haven't seen the Goonies.
Right, but like I mean,
Fucking
also too, like when it came out
communists.
too, like a cult classic is like not really well known, didn't make a whole lot of money. I'm pretty sure The Goonies made a whole lot of money when it came out.
I don't think it did.
I don't know.
I know
I'm
a
not
person who
answering that
hates the
question.
Goonies, and that person can rot in hell.
Yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people that I've never seen the Goonies. I'm like, what? You haven't seen the Goonies? And they're like, what's the Goonies?
Let me Google
IMDb
search.
had a top, I don't even know how many, but I'll just tell you the top 5 that they had for 80s cult classic films.
Okay,
Number 5, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
that's a cult movie to me. Yeah.
Number 4, Midnight Run.
Yeah,
I don't really know
movie.
that movie.
Number 3, another wrestling throw in here, They Live.
Oh.
Oh,
Fuck, I love
God. I
that
came
movie.
to kick ass and chew
Oh, my
bubble gum.
God.
And
I'm all out of
bubble
gum.
gum. Number 2, Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Classic. Good.
Number
2 Kurt
1.
Russell films?
Right.
Yeah.
And number 1, The Warriors.
Oh.
Warriors.
Oh, fuck.
Come
out
out to
to
play. How the
Oh my
fuck are there 2
God.
Kurt Russell films in their
Well
top
known.
5?
I mean, to be fair though, those are kind of cult.
Little known
movies.
fact, that was completely ad-libbed, that scene with the bottles.
Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I love the Warriors.
can you dig it?
Number 10 was Night of the Creeps.
You said 5.
Okay, so I
Well,
can't
Make up your mind.
going back a couple minutes. It doesn't say that like adjusted for inflation, but domestically the Goonies made $62 million in 1980 whatever.
That's pretty good.
I mean,
would say.
considering how much it probably cost to make that movie, that's probably really good.
For the
Yeah.
year, it was top 10.
Okay. So,
So
yeah,
it
it
was
was
a
pretty
hit.
well.
So it was a hit.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah. I still know people that have not seen the Goonies.
I know, but like, I don't know.
There's
I
going
guess
to
it's
be
not
people who haven't seen Goonies.
Yeah.
I guess it's not
They're
like the
called
true
idiots.
cult classic, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, Army of Darkness or Evil Dead.
Right, exactly. Like,
Fright Night.
Let's talk
Evil
about
Dead.
Goonies here for a minute. I think Goonies is amazing because it invented the group of friends adventure genre.
It did.
oh, it did.
So, I mean, let's talk about the amount of movies that basically got their entire lifeblood. Explorers. That's a bunch of
Explorers?
kids who build a spaceship and they go hang out with some animatronic aliens in space. That's like Goonies. Monster Squad.
Monster Squad for sure.
Yeah.
Fucking love Monster
Oh,
Squad.
it's-
Wolfman's
Got
got
nards.
nards.
Got Nards. My favorite, Stand By Me.
Ooh, Stephen
That's-
King novel.
Mhm.
Stephen
that's
King
actually
novel. Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner, and then
Directed
you had
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton,
Will
River
Wheaton.
Phoenix.
Jerry O'Connell.
I mean,
R.I.P.
fucking fat Jerry O'Connell.
Fat
we have
Jerry
to preface
O'Connell.
that. It was fat Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to River.
Rip.
And then the bully was Kiefer Sutherland.
The bully was Kiefer Sutherland. So
very,
fun
very
fact,
young Kiefer
from a
Sutherland.
Stephen King nerd, and I'm a huge Stephen King nerd. Stand By Me is actually, it ties into the Dark Tower universe.
I think I heard that.
Does it really?
Their journey is representative of like a real world allegory for Roland Deschain's journey to the Dark Tower. The corpse they're going to go find, the kid.
So Andy just showed me this movie too. I kind of forgot about it, but I'll give you a hint. And I'm going to see if you can name it off this hint. There's a very oiled up sax player.
Oh, it's fucking Lost Boys.
Yes!
Yeah. Yes.
Give me a break, man. Do you know who you talking to? I know my oiled up sax players.
Dude, I'm looking at this list and it just reaffirms how great.
Yeah. And with like the Goonies, like you had a great director in Richard Donner, and we didn't talk about him with our directors, but Richard Donner should be in there in the 80s because you had the Goonies. You had The Toy, which is kind of but the first two Lethal Weapon movies,
Both Lethal Weapon movies. It's like whispering.
and Scrooged.
Oh.
Harold Ramis directed the first Vacation.
Gentlemen, I want this out on the table right now because this is a fight that my wife and I have been having since I've known her.
Okay.
Lethal Weapon is a Christmas film. True or false?
It is.
True.
Thank you.
So is Die Hard.
If someone wants to consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie too.
Die Hard is a Christmas film.
Then there we
if
go.
you kill a terrorist and you write, now I have a machine gun, ho, 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 it's a Christmas movie.
Right.
If you open your film with Jingle Bell Rock and then do a Coke deal in a Christmas tree farm, it is a Christmas movie.
There's snow.
If Gary Busey drives an 80s sedan into your fucking living room and ruins Christmas,
it's
a Christmas movie.
Like drives through your front window with Christmas lights and knocks over your Christmas tree.
And then fights Mel Gibson on your lawn while you destroy the plumbing of the entire neighborhood.
Doesn't he choke him out with the Christmas lights?
He most certainly does.
Right. That sounds right.
God damn it, I love Lethal Weapon so much.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry fun Christmas. Lethal Weapon's Christmas.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I know you said first two Lethal Weapon movies, but I love all four.
I love all of them. You can put one in and I'll watch it.
Sorry, but I do.
I don't hate any Lethal Weapon movies. Lethal Weapon 3 is actually one of my favorites because he gets the dog.
Yeah. He does. Yeah. Two might be my favorite.
That's the one with the South Africans, isn't it?
Yeah. And then it's the diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. Fuck, dude. God damn it, I love that line.
There is, oh my God, man. Like, yes, fucking the 80s, like, holy shit. Everything you see now is either a reference to or a remake of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or a sequel.
Or a sequel to. Fuck, they made a Blade Runner sequel like 30 years after the fact.
And I haven't watched it yet.
It's amazing, Tim. It's really
have not
good.
Heard a bad thing about it. I bought it last weekend. I just haven't had the time to watch it yet.
And this was
I just haven't had the time.
This was another one that we brought up earlier, and not yet because we brought up the theme song for it. But Back to the Future.
Don't take money.
Don't take fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this train.
Directed by Robert Zemeckis. Another great
80s.
Zemeckis.
One that I can't believe that I've missed. The Princess Bride.
Oh,
another Rob Reiner movie.
As
and
you
probably
wish.
like that just Rob Green's
wish.
80s because I remember watching
I forgot Rob Reiner did that movie.
What was the show?
Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years.
Oh.
And then Fred Savage being in that movie, The Princess Bride being the kid getting the book read. Oh my God.
And his grandpa's Columbo.
Yes.
Yep.
So everyone, you know what? I love The Princess Bride, but it's a dark fucking movie when you think about it.
Oh, it is.
So not just ignore the book that Grandpa's reading to sick Fred Savage, but you need to ask yourself is like, where's Fred Savage's dad in this equation? Fred Savage is faking being sick so that he can stay home because he is too depressed to go to school because his dad just died. So Grandpa shows up to read him a book about ROUSs and anybody want a peanut?
And
to
Andre.
make him forget his dad.
Gotta love Andre the Giant.
Now watch Princess Bride. Go watch Princess Bride now and try not to slit your wrist. I dare you. We'll never do it.
What does he say?
Inconceivable.
No, you can't outsmart
A Sicilian.
A Sicilian.
You never go up against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
yeah.
Also,
You've just committed one of the classic blunders.
also,
Only less well known is you never get involved in a land war in Asia.
my name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Did you know that like shortly before they started filming, that I can't think of the actor's name. Mandy Patinkin, his dad actually passed away, and then like he used that in the scene.
Yeah.
Another
Mandy
film
Patinkin,
that
what a name!
he's awesome.
No, but like his
What a
scale,
fucking name.
his scale of movies and like
he's
shows.
awesome.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds.
Do you guys remember Flight of the Navigator?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I've actually never seen Flight of the Navigator.
Pee Wee Herman does the voice of the spaceship.
Yeah.
See you later, navigator.
Such a good movie.
Come back to me in
They're
8 years and I'm
remaking that
jacking
as
off
well.
into it.
And his little alien friends.
His alien
Yeah,
friends.
he was the spaceship is collecting specimens from all around the universe.
all around the porno theaters that he jacks off.
pretty
in.
much, yeah.
Hey. Pee-wee didn't do anything wrong, okay?
He just
That's
seemed
what
to
you
wait 5 more
do in a
years for the
porno
internet.
theater, Tim. You jerk off. The problem with Pee-wee is that he wasn't following the rules. Pee-wee was like, ha, 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 ha. And everyone else was around, they're like, dude, keep it down. Pee-wee broke the rules. He didn't do anything wrong in the theater. He just couldn't keep his mouth shut.
He was just too loud. And now I'm just picturing Paul Rubens like that's his finishing noise.
Pee-wee's Playhouse was 80s.
Please,
Sure
Pee-wee's
was.
Playhouse was the 80s.
Hey, Johnny!
All right, so because we haven't
Fucking
talked about
Lawrence Fishburne, shucks, Pee-wee.
Yeah,
Cowboy
fuck
Curtis.
Phil Hartman was on there too, wasn't he?
He was.
Probably.
He was
Or he was at least on the stage show.
Captain, I forget his name, but
Captain
yeah,
whatever the fuck.
He was like a
Captain Kangaroo.
sea captain.
I
No.
feel like our show so far has been really appropriate because, like, it's the 80s is just one long, like, stream of thought, like, rando, like, misfirings, and, like, here, you're here, and then you're here. And that's kind of like where we're going right
Yeah.
now. It's like this 80s thing, but that reminds me of this 80s thing.
I was gonna ask you guys real quick.
Everything's connected.
I was gonna ask you guys.
It's a hell of a drug.
Right. I was gonna ask you guys real quick to kind of ground it. Maybe is what's your favorite sitcoms from the 80s? Like name like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 because I can come up with 5 from the 80s.
Sitcoms?
Yeah,
Sitcom?
Or television.
or television. Sure. I mean, I can come up with 5 television shows right off the top of my
You
head.
guys make fun of me being old. He's like, hey, remember them sitcoms?
So okay, so
remember cartoons.
I'll start it off in no particular order. Cheers.
Everyone
Roseanne.
watched you.
I enjoy Roseanne.
Golden Girls.
Does Alf count?
What's that?
Does Alf count as a sitcom?
Alf's a sitcom,
yeah.
Okay.
Not for, Growing Pains because I love that. I watched that a lot when I was a kid.
Wonder Years. I watched a shit
that
ton
was
of Wonder
my-
Years.
That was my next one. The Wonder Years is like that might be my all-time favorite show because almost every episode in that show, you can kind of have a memory of like something similar that happened to you in your life.
Charles in Charge, I think, was the 80s.
Charles in Charge was the 80s of our days
Charles
and
in
our nights.
Charge of our days and our nights.
Well,
And then because
you,
technically
Chachi.
it started in the 80s, The Simpsons.
That's not a sitcom.
It's a cartoon.
Okay, let me sitcom or TV show.
I was going to say dinosaurs.
Oh, I
Is that
love it.
80s?
I don't think
Yeah.
that's the 80s.
I think
thought
it
it
was.
was.
I think that's
80.
early 90s. Not the mama? We're talking about the same thing here?
yeah.
I'm the
Thought it
baby,
was
gotta
the
love
80s.
me.
I thought
No,
it
it
ended.
might be the
it.
90s.
I thought it ended. early
Dinosaurs
90s.
was 1991.
Ah, damn it. So close.
But I mean, you were close to TGIF because
Yeah.
you could just say a Family Matters or
Family
something.
Matters. That's where I was going. Like
Yeah,
Family
Urkel.
Matters.
Full
Cheers,
House.
obviously. Full House.
Okay.
I hated Full House. I'm sorry.
I loved it.
I hated Full
Family
House.
Matters. Carl Winslow. Are we all in agreement that he is the same character in Family Matters
Die
as
Hard?
he was in Die Hard? Yes.
Yeah.
in Die
Yeah,
Hard.
Family
Same guy.
Matters is a Die Hard sequel. I don't care what anyone says.
So, okay, cool. So we are in agreement then. So in Die Hard, the reason he's like a desk jockey is because he accidentally killed a kid, right? Are we all in agreement that kid
He
was
killed
Steve Urkel?
Urkel. Yes.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. He's got a gun. Carl, this is just my new device. He's got a gun. Steve Urkel, man.
I really like Cheers a lot. Like, I really enjoyed Cheers.
Yeah, a few years ago, I saw it on like the whole series on sale on DVD for like $50. And I was like, yep, you're mine now.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
I mean, also,
Why are you singing so softly?
I'm not a big Kirstie Alley fan, but Rebecca's better than Diane. Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm in the Rebecca camp
Diane,
too, Tim. I
like
didn't like
Diane
Diane.
annoys the shit out of me.
Diane was so neurotic.
There was
Yeah.
an evening. It's probably been just over a year ago. Phil, you were in town. You stayed
Oh, yeah.
over,
Yeah.
and I come walking out, and it's almost the crack of dawn. I kind of come walking out, and Tim was crashing on the couch, and he's passed out. And there's just old reruns of Cheers playing on the
Yeah,
TV.
because you left Netflix on for me, and I was like, well, I need something to fall asleep to, so I just started Cheers from episode 1 because I couldn't
I
sleep.
came out, I was like, Diane, man, he's watching some old ones.
Yeah,
I always
literally
liked Woody.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's probably
also
my
Woody's
favorite.
better than Coach.
I hated
show
Coach,
Coach?
dude. I can't even watch Coach.
No, not the
Coach
I
was
meant-
the first
Coach was the
bartender.
old guy, the old bartender. I said, and then the actor passed away, and then Woody came on. I said, Woody's better than Coach.
Was Who's the Boss in the 80s?
Wings.
Who's the boss
Yes,
in the 80s?
Who's the boss?
Wings, I never really watched
liked
a whole lot of.
Wings.
I never
Wings.
really watched Wings a whole lot.
I was never like sitcoms in the 80s. Like you gotta understand, I was between like 0 and 8 years old in the 80s.
I watched them like later. I didn't really watch them.
Yeah, some of these are like definitely out from like syndication and like falling asleep
From
watching
what our
Nick at
parents
Night.
would watch. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
She watched Designing Women. My mom
Yeah,
loved that.
I mean,
I remember
yeah, like-
watching
Yeah,
that.
My
yeah, blame
mom
that on your mom.
watched the shit out of Murphy Brown.
Yes, Murphy Brown.
That's how I knew Cheers and Roseanne and Murphy Brown is because my mom would just watch them from like on syndication in the afternoons or whatever.
Was
The
X,
Cosby Show.
did X-Files start in the 80s?
No, X Files is 90s.
Okay.
Looking back at the Cosby Show, knowing what I know now,
Yeah,
makes me a little uncomfortable.
Fresh Prince of
gonna lie.
Bel-Air?
Fresh Prince, I don't think that was
90s.
80s. That was 90s.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Pretty sure that was 90s.
I want to say it started in 91 maybe.
What
So,
about music?
Music?
Music
Fuck,
from
dude.
the 80s.
You were talking to a grown-ass man who only listens to the 80s. I have satellite radio. I only listen to the 80s station. I have a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one word: Prince.
Yeah.
Other
that,
one word,
like-
Madonna.
Right.
Other one words.
Eh.
Hey, Madonna.
I mean,
I didn't-
yes.
iconic.
Correct.
age.
She's iconic, but I didn't like
Yeah.
her music.
Michael.
Yes.
What do you mean you didn't like Madonna's
I
music?
really
Everybody
didn't.
likes
Like, I just
Madonna's
didn't.
music.
It
You
just-
don't like a prayer?
No.
What
You don't
about
like a virgin?
No.
what about
You don't
Cyndi
like a
Lauper?
Madonna?
No.
I mean, girls just want to have fun.
I know the songs,
That's
but it
fucking
wasn't
Cyndi
like.
Lauper.
That's what he
That's
said.
what I just said.
Yeah, he said.
Oh, okay.
He asked me if I sing Lauper.
He just got really mad about
I
that.
was like, you don't get your Madonna and your Cyndi Lauper's
I mean,
mixed up.
obviously, they were like she was iconic and everybody loved it. But for me, I was just kind of like.
Remember when she
Vogue,
ran with
Vogue,
Captain
Strike
Lou
a
Albano?
pose.
Yes, I do.
He,
I remember when Cyndi Lauper was on the first WrestleMania. I sure do.
he had the
I remember
rubber
Cyndi
bands in
Lauper.
his beard.
I ever seen
Yeah.
Lauper from the Goonies.
Lou Albana.
Goonies-
Lou
Goonies are good
Albano.
enough.
He was awesome.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I still
wrestling-
can't get over the fact that Sweeney doesn't like fucking Madonna. Everyone likes Madonna. Everyone has at least a Madonna song they like. There's got to be one.
I would say
Really?
the closest one that I could say I am a fan of would be Material Girl.
Yeah, that sounds like a Sweeney
I was,
song.
I was gonna fuck with you and be like, "Justify my love,
I don't even know that song.
Vogue.
justify my love."
Yeah, I don't know that song.
Vogue. Oh, fuck Vogue.
I hate. I
fucking
used to
hate
see that
song.
video all the time. It used to piss me off.
I'm gonna dress you up in my love all over your body.
Fuck, that is Madonna.
Like
I don't
a
know
Prayer
that
is my
song.
favorite Madonna song.
Like, dude, I cherish. Cherish is the one I used. Dude, really? Dude, she was the original Lady Gaga.
She was.
You
Yeah.
like Gaga?
Some of her
It's
stuff.
okay to say you're in a safe place here.
No,
Sweeney.
I like
It's
some of her
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
My poker
Oh,
face. My poker face.
Hey,
I had to walk in that, I'm
my
sorry.
wife told me a really awesome joke that I'm saving for when I'm a dad someday. So, how do you wake up Lady Gaga?
Poker
You
in the
puff up
face.
poker face. Puff up poker face. Don't hit me, please.
I made it funny.
I made another funny.
I like the when it comes to the 80s, obviously I'm a huge Prince fan, but that's because like, how could you not?
Hall & Oates,
I like the Scorpions.
Tears for Fears.
There's a German prog rock band, the Scorpions.
Scorpions.
Yeah.
Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Def
Winds of
Leppard.
Change.
Def Leppard. Was Air Supply 80s?
Yeah.
Yes, Air Supply is super 80s.
I'm
And holy
all out
shit,
of
thank you for
love.
bringing that up.
I'm so lost without you.
Metallica.
you were right.
No, we're talking about Air Supply.
Metallica, yes. They started in
Metallica. They started in the 80s.
They started in the 80s.
I'll never get sick of Rick rolling people.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Rick
fuck.
Astley.
I just like hearing that song.
Never gonna give, never gonna give.
The
Give
Proclaimers?
you up.
Man, I don't know if that's the 80s. I think that's early 90s.
Is
like,
it?
I think that's. I
That's
mean,
how
but
we
like,
should have started the episode. Rick rolling everyone.
Never gonna give you up.
I Rick rolled my fucking wedding. I'm not above Rick rolling our listeners.
never gonna give, never gonna give.
Give you up.
Oh, jeez.
We're no strangers.
No,
Yeah,
some of the best music of all time was from the 80s. If you like look at it objectively.
I mean, like I said, I was listening to Hall & Oates on the way here.
Yeah, Hall & Oates is good. Mhm.
I like me some Hall & Oates. Some of the best Metallica shit was from the 80s.
Oh, yeah. I think One was in the 80s. That's a great
It sure
song.
was. Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning.
Master of Puppets. That's
Master
an 80s
of
song,
Puppets
I'm
is
pretty sure.
amazing. Yeah.
AC/DC.
It's crazy they're still around. Like,
Was Megadeth in the 80s?
oh, God. Had to be.
Maybe?
It had to be.
Yeah.
They were been around forever.
The Pied Piper.
Yeah. Which is weird to think about. Some of the bands, like,
Asia.
Asia.
We're all forgetting.
Asia.
We're all forgetting about Toto.
Oh, yeah, Toto. Mhm.
Europe.
How hard did they laugh at you when you brought in this Asia poster to get framed?
They didn't. Man.
If you could remake something from the 80s that should be remade, what would you remake?
If I could remake something.
Like if you could basically relive like something from the 80s that hasn't been remade yet.
That's kind of hard.
Don't say Lethal Weapon because they're doing a TV show of it.
Actually, no, I wasn't going to. I actually like the TV show.
Man.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you, I believe Disney is doing a remake of Flight of the Navigator, and I'm actually like, I love the original, but I'd like to see it now with the modern technology that we have.
I do love Flight of the Navigator. It has a special place in my heart, except for Sarah Jessica Parker.
Man.
Wouldn't it be kind of meta if they remake Back to the Future? And
Yeah.
he has to go back to the 80s to where his kids are.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking, like, Back to the Future would be really cool.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, but like his parents met in the 80s or something like that.
Like,
When Back to the Future came out.
yeah.
Those parent. What if we're talking about like when it's Marty McFly's kid?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. It's Marty McFly's kid going back to meet Marty.
Right.
And then Marty
rewatched
goes back
Back to
and
the Future
like, he
2.
goes back.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that Back to the Future 2 is in the past now,
Yeah.
like 2015. A gigantic holographic Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws 19.
I want
Shark
my-
still looks fake.
Oh my goddamn hoverboard, you fucks.
Yeah, I want my flying cars.
want my
I want
self-tying
all the
shoes.
things
I don't
that I was promised.
No, I want a fucking hoverboard.
I want my self-tying shoes. Damn it.
I want
Flying
a
car.
self-drying jacket. I
Yeah.
want like a fucking. I want flying cars. I want. Oh, my wife and I both said this because we watched Back to the Future 2 the other day. We want our dehydrated pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want my pizza. I put it up and it goes bing, bing, bing,
I mean,
bing, bing, and then out it comes freshly cooked.
Speaking of pizza, if I can order a fucking Pizza Hut for my goddamn shoes, I need self-tying shoes.
That's what I said. Self-tying shoes.
I know, I'm agreeing with you. If I can just, from like the tongue of my shoe, order a fucking pizza, I want shoes that can fucking
Lace up.
self-tie.
A reimagining of Back to the Future, okay, if you're saying I'm just going to do a straight up remake of it. No, don't.
No.
No, I mean, it was just a random idea I've had. It would be
That-
kind
that
of
was
meta
my
if he
same
just
thought
goes back
too,
to the
like-
80s of like,
And when I think of remakes, I'm not like that. I don't want, you know how we talked about this before. I don't want a remake of a movie. I want something that's like, you take the general premise and you can reuse it.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
want
mind
like
when they enhance an IP, but when you like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Look at Blade Runner. Blade Runner 2049 enhances the
it took
Blade
the
Runner
premise
universe.
and like kept going with it.
Mhm.
Like-
it's a sequel. It's a spiritual and legitimate sequel.
I was also thinking like the Goonies. If you could take like the Goonies and make it like a modern version, like not like anything to do with it, but that'd be fun.
No.
I think it
No.
would.
You can only find so much pirate treasure in your one lifetime, Sweeney.
Well, I'm
You
not saying
can't
do
do
exactly the same story. I'm just saying the premise of like a. Never mind.
What are you going to do? Like when Chunk comes back and he's not fat anymore, and Mouth is like a drug addict, and Mikey used to be a hobbit, and his older brother Bran is fucking Thanos. Like, you can't, what movie are you watching, dude? And I've met the guy who plays Data. He's a dick. Like, you don't want a Goonies sequel. Let Goonies lie. I'd watch a fucking. I would watch a Monster Squad remake though, but like hyper violent. You know what I mean? Like, are you familiar with Monster Squad, Andy?
So
You look
not
like
your Universal Studio monsters. You want
No.
like an American werewolf,
What if-
man.
I
You
want like 30 Days of
30
Night
Days of Night
Dracula.
vampires.
I want like
and
American Werewolf in Paris werewolf.
werewolf.
I
You
want like the Mummy.
like a Frankenstein that just rips people apart with
Yeah,
a
just
string.
rips the fucking
What if they
limbs
like
off
did
and-
like a Monster Squad, but it was like horror movie squad? So it was like Jason, Freddy,
There you go.
Leatherface,
I'd watch that.
Leatherface.
The dad is Ash Williams.
I love the Evil Dead movies,
Oh,
man.
I do.
absolutely.
Yeah, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Michael
I mean,
Myers.
it's kind of like along the lines because we were talking about like reimagining or taking the IP and like doing something more with it, like Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh yeah. Well, they kind of had the TV show now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's a TV show.
Yeah,
It's actually very well done and hysterical.
it's hysterical. It's still
It
the same
really
gory,
is.
still the same like over the top
Yeah.
everything.
I actually just watched. I watched last week's episode this morning, and there's a demon baby in it, and the demon baby wakes up, and he's like, and he's got a Norwegian woman just next to him, just like, so what's Norway for up Schitt's Creek without a paddle? I just fucking love it, and that's how the episode ends. Like, great, love it.
oh
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ. Yeah, no, like Sam Raimi, like he did good work with the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah. Army of
So,
Darkness.
but and then he made Spider-Man 3.
Great.
That's my heart.
80s wasn't kind to everybody though. I mean, like the 80s, like look at Steve Gutenberg. Like you got those fucking like
fuck.
Police Academy movies and
fuck.
Short
Yeah.
Circuits 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Cocoon.
And
Cocoon.
Oh,
I
Cocoon.
loved Cocoon.
what?
Oh, I
you
loved
geriatric fuck, you would like Cocoon.
Yeah.
I loved
You
it.
like
Hey,
picture old people getting in
yeah.
the pool and
Hey, remember why we make fun of you as being an old man?
Good movie, even though it's about old geriatric
Is
people.
it good? They just die.
It reminds me of my youth.
You fucking grandpa. I can't believe you mentioned
Do you guys
Cocoon.
remember
Like,
Batteries Not Included?
oh, Christ. You old bastard. Stop it in. Stop.
no. I'm still laughing at Cocoon. That's a great fucking movie.
Grumpy Old Men.
That's in the
That's a
90s.
90s.
Was that
goddamn.
90s?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Now, one that my mom would always watch was on Golden Pond.
Oh, Jesus.
God
I have
damn.
no idea what that is.
Oh, it's a very depressing old people
It's-
film from
it's
that
Steel
time.
It's Katharine
Magnolias.
Hepburn and
And
another
Charlton.
and it's not Charlton
No,
Heston.
not
It's
Heston.
Peter Fonda.
Yeah, Peter Fonda.
And they're like, we're about to die.
And he just calls her like a poop the whole time. He's just like, you poop?
What?
And their daughter's a hippie because what's her name was an actual hippie. Fonda's daughter.
Oh, Jane Fonda?
Jane
Another
Fonda.
Fonda.
Jane Fonda plays their daughter in it, yeah.
Oh,
Steel
my God.
Magnolias.
But Fonda
I've
doesn't
never-
have a
I've
voting
never
back
seen it.
then.
1989.
I can't laugh at it because I've never seen it.
It's Sally Field, the hooker from Pretty Woman.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
The hooker.
I mean, if we're going to talk about sad movies involving females, Beaches, because all of you are the winds beneath my wings.
Oh, Jesus.
I like Beaches.
Mermaids.
It only paused.
He's just like, do I admit it?
I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't give a shit. I'm comfortable.
Lagoon.
I like Beaches.
Oh,
Beaches has a really
Lagoon.
great
Blue Lagoon?
soundtrack.
It's been a long time since I've seen Beaches. I know I have seen it.
It's about friendship and like family isn't always blood ties, and it's about like overcoming cancer and then eventually dying from cancer.
Wow.
It's a good movie. I mean, I think Beach is a good flick. Bette Midler, she did For the Boys. She's done good flicks.
I mean, I'll
Don't hate.
I'll admit to liking Terms of Endearment.
Yeah.
And Andy's already like thrown himself under the bus twice with his geriatric movies he keeps talking about.
Fucking cocooning on Golden Pond.
Cocooning on Golden
Oh man, I
Pond.
think Tim's offended.
This was because, yes, I'm old, but in the 80s, I was still
You can't say quotes.
I was under 10 years old for most of it. So I was watching what my brothers who are 8 and 10 years older than me, my mother, what she was. So I was watching a lot of that.
Your
Like, my
brother Paul was watching.
I was
Golden
watching
Pond.
stuff from my older cousins too, but it wasn't on Golden Pond.
So Joe, who did our theme song, he was a big Pink Floyd fan as well. And he was watching The Wall. And I'm like maybe second or third grade.
Okay.
And I'm watching the children marching along the conveyor belt being dropped into a meat grinder and getting ground up. And he's like, that's high school. So like my entire elementary, I'm like, I'm not going to high school. Fuck that. I'm not going there. You ride a train to go into a meat grinder.
So you ended up watching Cocoon instead?
Like that's why I'm giving you shit. Is that like The Wall is just like, okay, that sounds about
That's
right.
a great movie.
On Golden Pond and Cocoon.
Oh
like,
no,
how
it was like,
fuck
here's
old
the
are
wall.
you?
Here is Faces of Death. Watch
Oh,
these,
Clockwork
young
Orange.
Andy.
Like,
Clockwork Orange.
That's a
70s
70s film. I know my Kubrick. I did my thesis on Kubrick. I love him. Yeah. Shining.
yeah.
Was that the 80s? I thought it was late 70s.
That might be 70s also.
It might be late
I'm gonna look.
70s.
I'm gonna
Kubrick-
look.
I'm pretty sure 2001 is also a 70s film.
Yes, it is.
2001's in the 60s.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
jeez. Andy, did you watch
old.
that one?
Which one?
I mean, Kubrick did fucking
2001.
Spartacus.
The Shining was
he's been
1980.
around for a long ass time.
1980?
The Shining was 1980.
Boom. Nailed it.
Oh, sweet. Shining is an 80s film.
Everyone's looking it up
Yeah.
right now.
Oh, Full Metal Jacket's his other 80s
Oh,
film.
wow.
Yeah.
1986 Highlander.
That's the year I was born.
Oh, my God. One of the
Highlander.
most quotable films of all time.
That can only be one.
And a Queen soundtrack. You can't go wrong.
See, that's why I'm convinced I was born in 1986, because it only can be one.
Wait, hold on. So Queen soundtrack, you say? Flash.
Flash Gordon is a 70s film.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Highlander. I am Juan
Flash Gordon was
Villalobos Ramirez.
1980. Suck my dick.
Oh, no shit. The 80s, the 80. It was written in the 70s.
Oh, okay. So The Shining isn't an 80s movie then.
Written in the 80s.
Man.
Just made it in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Wow.
No shirts.
Was that
no shoes. No dice.
That wasn't a John Hughes movie, was
No,
it?
that was
No.
Amy Heckerling. Heckerling.
Okay.
Somebody.
Can we go back to Highlander real quick?
Yes. Sorry.
I
Yes.
just want to talk about Highlander for a little bit here, man, because like we're talking about like one of the greatest and most underappreciated cult classics of the 80s. Sean Connery, dude.
Sean
Connery.
Is this
I'm Juan
before or after?
Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, chief metallurgist to King Charles V of Spain.
It's-
And you, sir, are Tagus.
Oh shit. He's going full monologue on me. Is that before or after he went back to James Bond and Never Say Never Again?
It was after.
Yeah, I think it's
Like,
after.
He was way, way, way past James Bond when Highlander came out.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I'm looking now.
I'm looking now.
Do you know that he went through a speech coach to sound more Spanish?
Jesus
It
Christ.
didn't work, Sean.
Okay, yeah. Never Say Never Again was 83 and you said Highlander was 86.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, the entire soundtrack is Queen. And it's one of the best soundtracks ever. Ever.
Ever.
Ever.
I might even say it's almost as good as the Purple Rain soundtrack.
Ooh.
Speaking of 80s and Prince, Batman.
89 Batman.
89 Batman. You know it's in the 80s because it's called the 89 Batman.
Trust. Who do you trust?
Hubba, hubba, hubba. Who do you trust?
Who do you trust?
Oh,
money,
Jesus.
money, money. Who do you
He said,
trust?
hubba, hubba.
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
Money, money, money. Who you
Money,
trust?
money, money. And where is the Batman?
Party man.
When it's just Jack
Holy
Nicholson.
shit.
It's just Jack
That's a great
Nicholson playing
soundtrack, too.
himself.
We talked about that.
In white
clown
makeup.
Yeah. Well, it works.
I'm not saying it didn't.
Yeah, the music video, he's half Batman and half Joker. It's pretty androgynous and weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's Prince,
Bat
though.
dance.
What are you going to do?
Vicky Bale. Vicky Bale. I like Batman.
Jesus Christ.
The 80s was definitely, I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, you got some fucked up shit. I mean, on one, okay, like for example, you had like, this was the dawn of the mini monster genre. We're talking like Gremlins.
Yep.
And then you had Critters.
Yeah.
And then you had Ghoulies.
And then you had
fuck?
Hobgoblins. Hobgoblins is a fucking shit movie that no one should ever see. And the only reason I've seen it is because it was on Mystery Science Theater.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Leprechauns. Oh my God.
90s.
You have, so, I mean, so 80s was like, you had a lot of really amazing original IPs that came out. Like the 80s like birthed a lot of amazing shit. And then everybody and their fucking sister tried to come out with like the Diet Coke version of that. So you had like Transformers, and then you had GoBots.
And Mask.
And hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're right.
You're right.
You are correct, sir.
I mean, yeah, like Mask tried to be G.I. Joe and Transformers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the 80s, like, for some reason, everybody has been trying to recapture that, which brings us back to the original reason for our episode, Ready Player One. Coming out this Thursday night, this Friday, if you will. If you've read the book by Ernest Cline, it's pretty much a love letter to the 80s. It's the entire game of the Oasis is just chock full of 80s references.
Yeah.
From what I understand, that's probably not going to be the case with the movie.
Which is, I mean, I hope it is, but again, it's a lot of rights to a lot of different things.
Look who the fuck directed it, Sween.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't mean he has the rights.
Doesn't mean he has the rights to Jaws and
it's
Indiana
Spielberg,
Jones
though. I mean, but from what I understand, he didn't want the whole movie to be like jerking him off like the whole time. Like, here's a Jaws reference, and here's a fucking another Spielberg reference. Here's an Indiana Jones reference. Like
I saw a very hilarious, like when
I
they're
jerk myself off if I was Steven Spielberg.
you know, like the little TV spot, the quick 30-second ads for movies, and when they start to put up like the newspaper like quotes of critics saying, "Hey, this is good."
Yeah.
It was like an ode to Spielberg. He's directing. I'm gonna do an ode to myself.
Again, he's Steven fucking Spielberg.
I mean, Beethoven did it.
like the pianist, like the composer.
The composer, yeah.
Ode to Joy.
Ode to Joy.
All right, I'm just saying, like, you're not doing like the dog, right?
No,
the dog didn't do
Symphony
it.
Number 9.
The dog did.
Ode to Joy.
Ode to Joy.
So, I mean, we're basically about to get our faces like punched off with like references from everything from the 80s, but we're probably going to see.
We're probably going to get a lot of 90s too.
We're probably going to get a lot of 90s in this. Sweeney's right. I think we're going to see a lot of like more modern video game references. You're probably going to see like,
because
I see the Iron Giant in the ads a lot.
I see Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You see Freddy Krueger. I mean, if anything, it's going to be like little snippets here and there.
Yeah.
But there are parts of the book where when he's like looking for the keys, where he goes through a new type of video game where he like has to one man reenact an 80s movie like War Games or Monty Python's and the Search for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
That's not fucking happening in this movie. You're not going to see the main character playing Matthew Broderick and like 20 minutes of the film is going to be him playing War Games. That's not happening.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him like fucking playing like a perfect game of Pac-Man for 2 hours. That's not going to, those of us who love this film are going to, we have to accept this will not be a flawless adaptation. There will not be direct 80s references. It will not be constantly.
No book to film adaptation is perfect.
Right.
As long as they keep a couple things like some of the music that's really important. Like, for example, like during the beginning of the book and the beginning of the movie, which I'm hoping when they talk about like James Halliday, the creator of the Oasis, his will is a video will, and in the background is playing Billy Idol's dance. Is it Billy Idol? It's Dancing with Myself.
That's Billy Idol. It's that's Billy Idol.
Dancing with Myself.
Yeah, it's Billy Idol.
So
but like
that needs to be there.
I imagine that music rights are a little bit easier to get than movie rights.
Probably. You're probably not wrong there. We're probably not going to see a lot of kaiju shit. You're not going to see a lot of Japanese. You're not going to see like every single thing from the Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
you're not going to see
Mothra's not flying around or whatever.
Damn it.
He's going to be in a movie later this year or next year.
You're probably not going to see a lot of like the obscure video game references.
Right, yeah.
Like a lot of the Atari 8-bit
But
shit.
I mean,
You're
there's
not,
some video games in there because I keep seeing like an Overwatch character in there. I
that
think
wasn't from the 80s
Tracers
though.
in it. Yeah, there's
right. I'm just saying video. I'm saying video game reference.
Joker and Harley are in it, and she's definitely not from the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that. I think I've seen Kratos in the trailer too.
Probably. I think I've
You
seen
probably
Halo.
have.
Whatever Warner's could have got on the cheap or what they already had, it's what you're going to see.
Right.
But the important thing is the spirit of the movie. The spirit of the film is just about. This is a huge allegory for net neutrality. Like the guy who made the Oasis dies and basically puts up a contest, and whoever finds this hidden Easter egg inside the Oasis gets all of his billions and I'm talking like hundreds of billions of dollars and controlling rights over the program. So of course there's like money mongering conservative assholes who are like, we need to take it over so that we can monetize the Oasis because it's free. The Oasis is free to play. It's the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
It's everyone uses it. So they want to like charge everyone a monthly fee.
Right. Well, it also kind of reminded me of one of the scenes reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy when the gold people, what they called the gold the race of
They're Kree.
the Kree.
I think they're Kree.
No, the gold. The
Adam Warlock's crew.
yeah. But they're all in like the simulated air like spaceships trying to fight them. Like it kind of looks like not Galaga, but
I know what you're talking about. The arcade that they all like try to chase their
and
ship
then you
down
see
with.
in this like the previews, you see the people like actually all set up and like the people that are trying to like monetize it. They're set up like businesses, like as like these people all set up these little stations.
So the villain of this book and film is going to be big business. It's IOI, that is the name of their company. But you expect a lot of like, we're doing this to like free the internet, free your mind, and you should knowledge is free and all that. It's going to be that.
Yeah.
So don't expect to like have like a truly deep message here. This is an action film, and this is going to be like an adventure movie.
I feel like they're throwing a love story in as well.
Yeah, there's somewhat of a love story. I don't want to like spoil it, but there's a part of the book that I really think they need to keep in this movie. And if it's not, then it sort of defeats the entire purpose of like, I can't talk about this. We'll watch the movie and we'll talk later.
We'll talk about
I was going to say,
next week.
we'll talk about it next week because next week we'll do a Ready Player One review.
We will, yes. We will,
So
we
go
will
see
review
it this
the film.
weekend.
This weekend. See it
This
so
weekend.
you can listen to it, and we will tell you what was good, what was dog shit, and
how fast Andy fell asleep.
This will be good because most of you haven't read the book, I believe.
I've read it.
Tim and I have both read it.
I have not. I want to read
it. I will admit that it has been long enough because it came out in like 2011, 2012, and I read it like right when it came out. So it's been long enough that I remember the broad strokes, but I don't remember specifics, if that makes any sense, because I've never gone back to reread it. I've only read it the once.
Well, to our listeners that are listening, if you haven't given yourself a chance to check out Ready Player One, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no,
The audiobook is, I would say, the superior way to absorb this, only because it's narrated by my hero, Will Wheaton.
Yes.
Will Wheaton.
And he does an excellent job with the voices and the characterization. As a nerd himself, he truly loves the material. So, I mean, if you want to go see this movie first and then read the book, tell us what you thought. If you've already read the book, tell us what you're really looking forward to hopefully see in the movie.
Absolutely.
Give Spielberg your hard-earned doubloons.
Yes, give Spielberg your money. He's earned it through many years of sacrifice and Spielbergian.
Whatever that is.
He made Jurassic Park, bro.
Yeah.
He made Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He made Indiana Jones.
E.T.
Give him all of your money.
Schindler's
Shut
List.
up and take my money.
Shut up and take
I
my
love
money.
Schindler's List.
I also enjoy Schindler's
I know that
List.
you should say I love it. That
But
sounds
not for the
kind
same
of-
reasons you do.
It's a good fucking movie.
No, it is. But this is the way, Yeah.
So, before we head off, one your guilty pleasure, one 80s guilty pleasure before we sign off for the night. Something you probably shouldn't admit, but you're gonna right now.
One of my favorite songs is Careless Whisper.
No shit, by Wham?
It's just George Michael. He was out of Wham.
Oh, was it?
Like anytime I hear that saxophone, I turn it right the fuck up.
You mean this saxophone?
Yep.
I just think of Deadpool.
I love that song.
Oh,
Deadpool definitely brought that one back for
Yeah.
everybody to enjoy.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Deadpool.
man, I don't know. I don't know my guilty pleasure of the
Any
80s.
cartoons you don't want to admit to? Were you a My Little Pony fan?
No, it
Damn.
really wasn't.
You don't like Madonna. Maybe
No.
your guilty pleasure from the 80s is that you had no taste.
Maybe. That's it.
You hate,
Or
you hate
or
on some
that you
fucking-
were 4.
I was 4. My bad.
you weren't even fully really a human being at that
I was
point, so we
not,
can't
no.
really hold it against you.
I mean,
Youngin'.
if it's considered a guilty pleasure, Evil Dead, but I don't think it is.
No, that's too great.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You can't. Andy, what was your guilty pleasure? Was it paying alimony?
Whoa.
I mentioned Mannequin, but the biggest one that I loved was Splash.
Oh my God, the Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah film.
Yeah.
Like, to the point that when I was young, I was like, I'm going to marry a mermaid. I don't care if they don't exist. I will make one. I want a mermaid.
Wait. So which half did you like the most, the human
Hold
or the
on.
fish?
It's a good question.
You like fish sticks?
No, I don't.
Okay, because this came out in the 80s, I have one other guilty pleasure because I sometimes can be a sucker for romantic comedy. I love When Harry Met Sally.
It's a good one. That's not a.
I don't know.
I
Sometimes
wouldn't
I
say it's
find
a guilty pleasure. That's just a good movie.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, then I'm wrong then.
It's just a good-
Waiter, there's too much pepper in my pepper
pocket
kush.
I have a piece of my pecan pie. Pecan pie.
I'll
Jeez.
have what she's having.
Yes.
And
Oh.
us being geeks, I think we should sign off with a movie that we didn't mention at all. Revenge of the Nerds. Nerds! God, that was so good.
Classic.
I don't know. That's a movie that's kind of for me.
Ooh. Well then,
Really? Can you explain to me why?
I think now I'll say that it's been a while since I've seen it, but like there was a part of me that when I saw it, and I'm sure my tastes have changed. Part of me felt like it was laughing at me and not with me, and I was just like, I don't like this.
Like, how dare you?
That's why I don't like. That's why I don't watch Big Bang Theory.
I need to check out the date of this movie real quick. Give me a second here.
Revenge
Which
of the
movie?
Nerds.
No.
84.
He's
It
already
is an
on top of
80s
it.
film.
He's already on top of it.
Bill and Ted's Excellent
Oh.
Adventure.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
1989,
That was my next question. It was Bogus Journey in the 80s?
92.
Yeah,
91, sorry.
91.
No, I
George
love Bill
Carlin
and
was in the
Ted's-
first one.
he's
He
in.
was in the second one
He's in
too.
both. Yeah.
Oh,
I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
as you
Probably
should.
not the greatest script of all time, but holy shit, man. It just has so many great one-liners. Look it up under Socrates.
There are parts of that movie, if I remember right, that like have not aged well. Joke wise.
We're thinking of a number. 69, dude.
Well, not that, but
that's another
Oh,
one you
yeah.
could remake.
No, I wouldn't mind a third one.
I don't know if you
I'll
can
take a
remake
third
it.
Bill and Ted, not a remake though.
the Bill and Ted in their 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're aging rock stars,
Bill and
they
Ted's
go back in time to
excellent
like.
retirement home.
I don't know if you could get Keanu Reeves to go back to that.
No, from what I've heard, Keanu Reeves wants to do it.
I think he's in, man. Like I
Yeah.
think the only thing they're
After
working
John
on is the
Wick.
script right
Yeah.
now.
He does.
I think yeah, like Phil said, is I think him and the other guy that kind of did nothing other than those two movies and Lost Boys.
So that's Preston. Esquire.
They're just waiting on a script.
Nice. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, John Wick is totally down to play Ted Theodore Logan again.
Damn right.
Do it.
I'll watch the fuck out of that movie.
Do it.
But yeah, so yeah, we're excited for Ready Player One. We love the 80s.
A lot.
And then sometimes we kind of hate the 80s too.
A lot.
I don't know.
But,
I didn't live through them, Andy.
Yeah, Andy, of all of us here, you probably have the cleanest memory of the 80s.
I would say the worst memory is fucking Ronald Reagan, man.
Fucking wrong.
God damn.
I just want to point out to everyone in this fucking podcast, you mentioned Cocoon, Batteries Not Included, and Golden Girls.
And what was that? Gold Lake? What was it?
On Golden Pond.
Gold Lake.
Golden Pond.
So you mentioned something about a golden shower.
Whoa.
And on that note,
Wow.
oh my lord.
Ready Player One. Go see it.
Godspeed.
Ready Player One, go see
it.
We will hear from us. And then I do believe after our review, Tim has something special lined up for us.
I'm going to do wrestlings.
He's like unzipping his shirt like, well, you getting naked?
No.
You're gonna do
Let's have an NWO
wrestling?
t-shirt.
Wrestling.
And this
Wolfpack.
this was totally not Pantland. Too sweet. And me
Holy
wearing
shit.
a wrestling t-shirt was not planned.
I think you've
Tim
worn
is-
it like 4 times now.
Probably.
Look
I fucking
forward
love the
to
shirt.
in a couple episodes. Tim will be holding our hands as we grease ourselves up to journey into the world of
Put on some baby
wrestling.
oil and begin just lifting other men in Speedos.
Get ready for that DDT.
We will lay
getting ready for that WrestleMania coming up.
Yeah. WrestleMania 34.
Can you smell?
What the Rock is cooking.
what the geeks are laying down.
There we go. Oh, well, on that note,
Yep, sir.
All right, guys.
on that
Thanks
note,
for
part
tuning
2.
in. I'm one of your many hosts, Phil,
This is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
and we are the Hateful Geeks.